Welcome to Soup City Sins. We are in our second season. We are on episode 7 of the second season, Is Nothing Better. As soon as everyone joins in, we will do a quick catch up and then proceed with today's episode of Soup City Sins, second season episode, Is Nothing Better. Welcome aboard, Simone. How we doing? Welcome, Clyde. I'm aboard, Lucio. How we doing? Typing tonight, actually, but I'm going to keep everybody kind of looking at open play from time to time so we can keep abreast. Typing's going to be a little slower, but we'll get through it.
Hey, I'm doing good.
You sound as tired as I actually am.
Today actually was a pretty easy day at the hospital. We had a late start and we made hand sanitizer.
That seems unusual.
Because it's on back order in our area, so we have to make it ourselves now. And we basically made enough for 3 hospitals.
I should at least get you to Saturday.
Yep. Hopefully.
I might be able to stay later than last time because I did get more sleep tonight or last night.
Okay, so due to Cameron's job picking up and his schedule changing, he won't be able to make it to our sessions here on Wednesday, but he will be around via post as long as he can. So nothing has changed as far as that to keep up between scenes, but he will not be making it to our Wednesday session.
What about Julius?
I have not heard from Julius, though I do see him as having Discord up, but he's away. Shows that he's idle, so I haven't heard anything. I'm going to drop him a quick line and see if he's available.
Also, does this sound better? I've started using the headphones again.
It does. It's a little crisper. All right. So tonight is my first time actually going ahead and trying to use the Craigbot, and we'll have a link that we can download it from.
Okay. My character has 2 levels of damage, but I don't remember it. It's aggravated damage actually because it was by fire.
Not a problem. We'll do a quick refresh, bring everybody up to speed, as well as the system for healing aggravated. Being as we're picking up the exact same night because of the time dilation and various sinkholes that happened in the Underdark of the Succubus. It's earlier in the evening. But for everyone except for Clyde, Clyde's been down there for 4 months. So even his scene with Liz is happening this same night that the injuries had to summon the monster that is Vitae and cause the sealing up of the damage or the removal of the burned, desiccated flesh and all of that good stuff. Well, we can go ahead and foreshorten the night's evening. The scene is taking place with Hestia, Lucio, and Simone and move it forward, which means everyone has the opportunity to heal 1 level of aggravated damage.
All right, 1 roll, success.
Right, and you guys are gonna need to. You need 3 rouse rolls.
Do they all need to be successful, or
I think it just depends how much blood you spend on it.
3 rouse checks? All right.
So I rolled 3 times and I got 3 successes. What?
I'll just roll a pool of 3 dice, I guess. Would that work as well? 1 success. Okay. And I also have 2 quick questions. 1, if I only got 1 success, does that mean that I don't heal any aggravated damage, or do I get 2 levels of hunger?
You would get 2 levels of hunger, and you would heal 1 level of aggravated.
Oh, Christ. That puts me at 4 hunger.
Yes, you would have. You would still roll 3 to heal 1 level of aggravated.
My other question was, if this is back in time, technically, would we be able to meet ourselves?
If you were to head back into the Underdark into the Succubus, most assuredly there is some otherworldly version of you traipsing around underneath there right now.
Right, but I don't want to go back there because I almost died last time.
Yeah, Succubus seems to be a very bad place for you guys. You ran from a fight with several Toreador who were not in the best of moods with one another. You all, as a coterie, not you individually, but you as a coterie, caused the death of several other kindred. You ran into something that shouldn't exist and disappeared into a land that had time speed up, reverse, and spit you out before you actually even entered into the place. So, it's not a very nice place. I wouldn't go. But luckily for me, I'm not undead creatures. So I would have no business of going to such places. All right. So, and we're going to push on. He still technically has 10 or so minutes to make it on time. We're going to go ahead with a soft start and do an update as to where we are. Because if you guys noticed, I didn't get a chance to put up the Coterie news and a recap of last week's episodes. Another night in Chicago. Another moment in an exploration of the dark that is you all's life, the Coterie's life, the very essence of what and who they are. As per usual, the Coterie has managed to extricate themselves from a most precarious situation. They ventured into the unknown soup that is the supernatural miasma that is the underdark of the succubus. They've discovered a few things about themselves, about the world at large, and about just how deep the rabbit hole goes in terms of those who are missing, believed, departed. Regrouping at the Coterie's Haven, several conversations have taken place. Clyde has taken a leave to check on his human allies, friends, associates, the very lifeblood of his being, and has found that there is a potential that other things are bouncing around you all's presence, shadowing you, something monstrous, something seemingly that shouldn't exist, just like you all shouldn't exist. After all, vampires aren't real, right?
Panicking.
Seems like a very safe survival method. It's a nice survival technique. All right, so we begin. We're going to say that the conversation between Simone, Hestia, and Lucio, the plans are all set. You all need to make it to Critias's by 9. Awaking when the sun disappears beneath the horizon gives you an opportunity. Now, at the end of that conversation, would you all have remained in the haven together, or would you have gone to your separate havens?
I'd say just for convenience, staying at that haven, although being at such a high hunger around the others.
That's where you're waking. That's where you all are waking up. You're waking up and the beast is literally clawing at your insides. It is seeking every means of escape possible. The hunger, as they say, is very, very real. That's the reason why I asked that you all disappear to your separate havens, your individual secret bat caves, or did you all spend the night in the Hall of Justice, as it were?
I think Lucio would have been in the Hall of Justice.
Clyde?
Yep. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so after your discussion with Liz and the crew and them honestly having no clue as to what you're talking about as in regards to the missing time, would you have returned to the group haven or would you have gone to your own personal haven?
Well, after my spider sense activating, I probably gonna try to make sure they are safe-ish before going to my haven or otherwise. So I'm probably gonna ask them what are they working on?
Well, they're prepping for a foray into the Graceland Cemetery. As they talk about planning such an expedition, you guys have covered Graceland before. There's quite a few ghost stories to debunk there at Graceland, but looking at the notes, you see that they've gone to Graceland once a week for the last 4 months you've been missing. Which there's due diligence and there's the extra steps of effort that they put in to this Graceland show, and they still haven't actually made the episode. Of course, listening in as they plot and plan, it seems as if this is the first time they're going. These are the initial preparation steps necessary to begin planning for a show, not one that has taken over 16 prep sessions and visits.
I'm gonna ask them when are they going back.
Let's begin with a soft chuckle. Clyde, you are a card. You know that we do we do all of our shooting from Wednesday through Friday so that we can get the show up Saturday. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, but are you recording tonight or tomorrow?
Well, we'll probably get there tomorrow. Do a couple of daytime shots and then get a couple of exterior shots for tomorrow evening and then work our way towards the tomb that we're going to be investigating. You know, the ghost of...
Out of character. Using mesmerize on my people with eating core on a stain.
Using mesmerize, changing their mind, it won't incur a mark on your soul. It won't mechanically incur a stain. Emotionally, that's another matter entirely. You are using that which separates you from the living on people that matter to you.
Yeah, then I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna tell them that they cannot go to the cemetery if I'm not present.
Okay, fire away. That's going to be a manipulation plus dominate roll.
I'm gonna rouse first.
And
Okay.
let me know how many
I need to
successes you
write.
get. You never have an issue with controlling the minds of humans. And you didn't think that you would have any resistance when attempting to control the minds of humans that matter to you. When you reach into that dark space that triggers that little lizard portion of their brain to make them follow along with almost any directive you give them, there is a resistance. It's almost very much like attempting to rework clay that's already been kilned.
Okay.
So after dealing with your crew, your touchstones, your human friends, and the things that connect you with life, there are several things that become apparent. Something's not quite right with them. Now, at the end of the night, so that we can move to the next night, would you spend that time with them and then go to your personal private haven, or would you head to the group haven?
In that case, actually, this night I'm gonna try to go to the group haven because I'm under the impression that somebody's trying to manipulate my friends.
All right, sounds like a plan. You arrive at the group haven just as Hestia, Lucio, and Simone are parting ways. Seems as if something very heavy has happened. Not that you're a master in emotion, signs of emotional duress, but there's a very palpable feel that has fallen over them.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them, hey, good evening, fellows. Something amiss?
Well, Hestia's typing. Yeah, give her a second. Lucio's Clyde, who you honestly just met down in the Underdark of the Succubus, is inquiring to make sure that you guys are okay after your conversation with Hestia and Simone and pertaining to Critias and everything else that you guys have come up with. Yes, Hestia, just at the end of that conversation.
I'm gonna rub the back of my neck, and then, well, two things. Number one, earlier tonight, when we were down fighting that whatever it was, I believe I probably unintentionally exposed you to my brand of Cocoa Pops, and for that I'm very sorry. And second, now that you mention it, Hestia, I believe somebody's trying to control or directly controlling people I'm close to. And, well, that's something that I'm not very inclined to allow. And I was going to ask you if you can lend me a helping hand. And of course, I can try to assist you in whatever it is you are thinking of doing with these two groups.
So you feel that your friends are being targeted by the same people?
Well, I don't know exactly who's targeting them. But you know how we are able to somehow influence humans? Well, tonight I tried to do so for the sake of their well-being, and I find something very... someone has already manipulated them. They are not aware of it, and well, that's worrisome.
I'm not much of an expert on the whole mind control aspect of our existence. I only have a limited ability to do so. And frankly, I am still a newbie at all of this. So, Hestia, what do you think?
I will turn to Hestia with some reservations, and I said, "How much blood?" All right, I tried to get you some of their blood tomorrow evening, and I hope you can see who's trying to targeting them. Yeah, as I said before, if you need some assistance with these people that are targeting us, call me in.
Well, the case is always the more the merrier. In this particular situation, being as there is the matter of dealing with Critias tomorrow evening, you guys have already rolled for your soaking of aggravated damage, which means you guys will be one less aggravated to inhibit. But there is very much the fact of dealing with Critias tomorrow. So with such things hovering over everyone's head, like the sort of Damocles, everyone's off to their various resting areas and places to while away and allow the thoughts to wash over them as the day sleep comes. Upon awakening, everyone who rode an increase in hunger will have to deal with that almost immediately, because as you rouse from sleep, starting from with Lucio, there is very much the stains that you have grown accustomed to on your bedding. Stains from your hands, the stains from your eyes. There is a new development because Stigmata for you has always been the tears of blood and the holes in your hand. Your shirt, however, is slick and sticking to you in a manner that you're not accustomed to. It's from where the spear of Longinus actually pierced his ribs. And it seems as if another act of supernatural spiritual guilt has hit you. You're not sure for what or why exactly, but it's clear that something has troubled your soul deeply. Hestia, your waking is, strangely enough, you hear the whisper of Karen's voice. Just the last conversation you had with her about not being ready to stand before the pyramid. Much like as she stopped herself as she disappeared out of the door. Client, your moment of waking is a little different. It's not the usual eye springing open, body ready to meet the night. Instead, it's the slow, almost physical sensation of 100 different people gently or attempting to gently waken you. And as your eyes slowly open, as if you've had one hell of a night out on the town, you can almost see the ghostly bodies of those many voices dancing in your head. You see Sam, and you see the child, you see the dancer, the nurse, you see a slew of 100 different people that live in your head there, rousing you awake, gently rocking you so that you awaken. The moment your eyes completely open and you take in your surroundings, they're gone.
I'm gonna mutter to myself, that's new.
Your hunger for. Your beast has never been this close to the surface. Lucio, your beast has been as close to the surface, but never as insistent as it is right now. Blood must be obtained. What are you all doing?
I don't think would I have any blood bags in my room?
You have not had an opportunity to restock either yours nor Hestia's stockpile. You've been busy.
Well, shite. Oh dear. I'm not sure what to do in this situation. I think Lucio's first reaction would be to go to Hestia and ask her if she has any blood bags. Would he know if she restocked, or would that not be something he would know?
No, everyone's been busy, so you wouldn't know whether she's had the opportunity to restock or not.
Then I think Lucio's first reaction would be to go find her and ask. Well, not so much ask as much as beg, plead, because he is suffering. So I guess I would Lucio would head to Hestia's door and knock.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on Hest to get her post up.
I'm gonna ask, well, I'm guessing Lucio. So is there somebody I can't feed upon? Or you guys have like people that are willing?
For me personally, it's a choice to avoid feeding on people and kindred.
Well, I respect that, but for the rest of us, do I have to avoid feeding on somebody? Or just give you a hostile look?
That would be something that I believe Hestia would be able to answer.
Very well.
Out of character, just to clarify, this whole place is basically Hestia's, right? Like she owns the place.
Hestia and Simone through a favor with Edward Viaros, ended up being placed in charge of the shelf company that owns the building and as such the shelter and for perpetuity. It's not actually, it doesn't actually say Hester Green or Simone Sorochi, but it's been set up so that there's a perpetual shelf company that maintains ownership and they're the head of it.
I'm gonna say to Hestival, I hope I'm not that far gone that I will not treat them with respect. Yes. After it, I don't think they will remember a thing.
So are you, just so that I am aware as to your preference, Clyde, what's your predator type?
He's a Sin Queen.
Okay, so there are several things you can do to try to get your itch scratched. Otherwise, you can, use a different hunting method. It's clear from, as unbelievable as it sounds, it's clear from Hester's response that she is the sort to ask for permission, which is interesting. Goes against everything you know as for the masquerade and making sure no one knows and you clean up your messes. But interesting. Lucio, as a bagger, without underplaying it in the least, there is always a chance, especially dealing with the community that you all have, that one or two or more of those present in the shelter currently has given blood or doesn't mind giving blood for various financial gains.
Out of character, just because this is an interesting question. What happens to a bagger when it sees blood? Does it still needs to roll for self-control?
There are several things that could happen. Hopefully they won't, but there are several things that could happen depending on the reason why that character is the bagger. Simone, did you roll your 3 rouse checks to heal the aggravated? You still have 1 left from your combat with the Gary vampires and the succubus.
I did not. What do I need to roll for that? Is it just humanity or?
No, it's 3. You need to roll 3 rouse checks to heal the aggravated, and until plus 1.
Is it something else besides humanity that I have to roll?
Nope. 3 rouse checks to heal 1 level of aggravated, and 1 rouse check for waking up.
Say that one more time. I missed all of that.
3 rouse checks to heal aggravated, and 1 rouse check for waking for the evening.
Right. Is that Homer? I mean, is that just hunger or what? I forget what the rouse check is.
Yeah, it's just 1d10.
Okay.
Do I have to roll that too?
No, you already rolled it.
I rolled for healing.
Right. You didn't. You didn't roll your 1 rouse check for waking.
Oh God, I might go to 5 hunger.
I'm at 3. Oh,
Oh no!
All right. Well, let's see.
So it looks like I'm going to be hunting tonight. So far, 1 success, 2 successes. So 2 out of 4. No, 2 out of. Yeah, 2 out of. No.
So your hunger goes up by 2.
Yep.
And you're 1 less aggravated. So here's the situation. The hospital is not a safe place to be in. Your haven, the haven itself, is not a safe place for anyone or anything at this moment. You have Lucio and Simone. You have been nearly as hungry as you are right now. You have never been this. The beast has never been this all encompassing. It is all that you all can see right now is hunger. Unfortunately, while it is not as easy, you definitely can get blood from kindred as well. So being near another individual, you all need to roll a minimum of 3 successes on a composure roll, or far more beneficial potentially is the fact that if you all spend a willpower, you all have 1 round, 1 scene to get away from each other and go hunting.
I think I'll do that. I don't want to risk it.
Same.
And yes, Hester, you should add to the cast because did you roll just a 3 for healing or did you add 1 for waking up this evening?
But at least I healed though, so no damage points so far, right?
You healed 1 level of aggravated. That means you would have 1 level of aggravated because remember you took 2.
Yeah, but I healed the first one. Remember, on my way to the, I
You can
healed one.
You
The
would
first
have. Yes, but you forgot about the time dilation and the fact that that didn't actually take place. You didn't make it to the next night. Remember, you can only heal 1 aggravated per night of waking. You didn't get a chance to.
Okay, no worries then. I gonna need to heal another ag anyway. Then that'll be tomorrow.
All right, so Hesha, the same offer. Are you going to roll for your composure, give me that 3 successes, or you're going to spend the willpower to escape the haven and go hunting?
Are we both at 5 hunger?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. What is everyone's hunger right now?
I'm at 3.
I'm at 5.
Hesha's
Esty is
at
at
5.
5. And
Somebody's gonna die tonight.
Simone?
I'm actually probably a lot closer to Topher because I burned a couple of blood and haven't reached there, so I'm probably like a 6, if not a 7.
You wouldn't be at 6. You were at 0 because you did Diablerize the Gary Vampire, so you were at 0. Then the net 1 for rousing, waking for the evening, plus the 2 that you lost for healing the aggravated. So you should be at either 3 or 4, depending on what you've done in the meantime.
Yes, but remember I had dropped a blood in the Succubus Club for endurance and also for for endurance.
Yes,
So that's another one.
yes, that's blood, not hunger. The hunger is what we're looking at. So you're either at 3 or 4 hunger right now. Forget whether you lost 1 from trying to heal your superficial damage or not. Whether that was successful. So either way, at the lowest hunger in the party right now is 3. Highest hunger in the party is 5. It should be a complete total failure. The beast should be all consuming and taking over. But you all have been associating with one another long enough that you don't wish the beast to ruin what semblance of community you have, because there are no other kindred in the city or in the world that you trust as much as your coterie right now in the area. So everyone takes another superficial if you haven't taken any superficial willpower damage. It's so that you all can flee the haven and go hunting. We're going to simplify this a little bit for everyone because there are so many different types of what everyone would like. However, with the beast in control, your chance of your domain being, that's a 6, 5, 4. So everyone go ahead and roll a strength plus brawl, except for Clyde, who's going to hunt inside the haven, inside the food pantry. Everyone else roll a strength plus brawl and tell me your results.
Does that include me? Because what I was thinking was trying to get to my supplier if they were close enough.
You're going to try to push it out further out and last a little bit longer. In that case, go ahead, roll your unused willpower, and you definitely need a complete success.
Unused willpower?
Yes, sir.
6 is my total here for willpower.
Haha, there you go. You summoned some last bastion of sanity. In that case, Lucio, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your intelligence plus streetwise to get a hold of your connect and see if they can make it an emergency drop and not keep you waiting as per usual so that you can satiate your need.
I have a specialty in
that at the die.
Yeah, black market. So that would be a total of 6 then.
Intelligence plus streetwise plus your bonus, yes.
Okay. And no hunger for this one, or
nope. All hunger.
all hunger.
Well, it's 5 that you have.
Right. I don't know what to make of that.
You are
You know what? No, I'm going to. Okay, would this be? Oh God, I don't want this to be the end of my character. So you know what? I'm gonna spend another willpower point and roll that last dot there.
Okay.
I'm like literally panicking right now because I don't want my character to go nuts.
Sometimes you'll get a little crazy. Simone, Hestia, could you go ahead and roll that strength and brawl for your hunting? While Lucio goes ahead and re-rolls his willpower on this one. Let's see what we get.
I just click the dot, right?
Yeah.
Oh no. Just one higher. Oh God. I can't spend more than 1 on a roll, right? Like I can't just keep spending willpower. That's not how that works, right?
That is not how that works. No, that's not how that works, unfortunately. I can allow you to succeed at a with a complication.
So now you said that my hunger is at a 4 or a 3.
All right, it's at either a 3 or a 4. I don't remember whether you tried healing any superficial damage or not. So that was for you to tell me whether you healed the superficial damage and lost that rouse check, meaning that it would, instead of being a 3, it would be a 4.
Okay, so 4 then.
All right, so
Wonderful.
let me see if I understand correctly. So if I succeed at a cost, I'll get to my supplier and I'll get the bags that I need, but something bad will happen, right?
Something interesting will happen. Let's not say bad. We want to keep it positive as much as possible. And there's always willpower, Hestia. So there is always that opportunity for you to get the necessary 3 successes.
All right, so if I don't take this, would I not get like any blood bags, or would my character be forced to hunt someone?
You'll be fine. The last time I failed to roll like that, I just ended up Diablo-izing somebody. It happens.
All right, so succeeding at a complication and for a hunting feeding roll, you've already extended yourself and exercise as almost a complete definition of indomitable will. However, the beast is, without a shadow of a doubt, clawing at the gate.
I'll succeed at a cost. I do not want to have to take blood from someone.
Okay. Well, let's go down the list. Clyde, did you go ahead and roll your hunting roll inside the Haven really quickly?
Yep.
And then we're going to go down the list and see what the beginning of our night is for everyone. Well, the end of the beginning of our night at this point.
Sirens, probably the police and the fire truck.
Hopefully none of the coterie are pyromaniacs, are they?
Not me.
Well,
So what would my role be? Saint Queen.
To find someone that scratches that itch, it would be a manipulation plus persuasion, a little conversation to see how enmeshed in that fringe community they are.
Okay.
To see if they strike the correct chord of understanding and awareness. Takes a little bit because Alma is a hell of a cook. She's a hell of a cook. But even with her being a hell of a cook, you manage to finagle your way from one table to the next, helping pass out silverware, striking up a little conversation, and before you know it, you find yourself in the bathroom stall with a gentleman who not only believes and listens to your program as often as he can, but has been an active participant in your subreddit for years. And you and he spend an enjoyable moment in the stall, in the family bathroom, of course, getting to know him, his local celebrity, being you and your program, and you getting to know that lovely, delicious blood that courses through him. You will need, with a hunger of 3, you will need to roll your composure. Each success gives you an opportunity to stop when you choose versus draining him dry. A complete, of course, is what's necessary or preferable, but in every success counts. So go ahead, roll your composure and see, do you stop before emptying him of all of his. Oh no. How many of your hunger would you like to fill?
So 2 is the maximum for not hurting a person, right?
Yeah, but you can go up to 4 without killing them immediately.
No. Hestia asked me to treat them with respect, so 2 is my goal.
Okay, so you end up taking 3 because you only have 1 success. You don't drain him dry, but he will remember this night, even if he doesn't remember your face.
Oh well. Yeah, after the feeding, I'm gonna erase his memory. Or at least the last 5 minutes.
Okay. You don't even need to roll. In his weakened condition, as out of it as he is, he thinks that he, Elvis, and some cow named Colonel Sanders had a very good time before he made it to the shelter tonight. He's going to be telling everyone about the time that him, Elvis, and the cow made out. Hestia, you have never lost complete control, even in your most bloodthirsty of moments, when the only thing you could think about was how spicy O negative is versus B positive. You've never lost complete control. But you've never been as hungry as you are right now. You've never been as hungry as you are right now with depleted reserves. You've never let that door crack open, let alone fly off the hinges as it has now. You find yourself, let me take a quick gander at the map really quickly here, make sure that we have the right area marked off. You find yourself on, this would be a quick hunt. There's no subtlety to it. There is only the cessation of the pain that this hunger has brought upon you. You do pat yourself on the back for having the wherewithal to brace for impact, as it were, and shield yourself from as much mentally as possible. Sadly, your mind is, in fact, stronger than you had counted on, because not only did it shield you, it blacked you out. It turned off the conscious portion of Hestia. You find yourself in a park you know all too well, a little bit less than a quarter of a mile from the haven. You're in the bushes, and you're not alone. The 2 gentlemen who are barely hanging on to life and will pass in the next, with your educated guess, based on labored breathing, within the next hour and a half, 2 hours, gave their best efforts. They gave their best efforts, and you can tell based on the knife sticking out of your side that they put up one hell of a fight. Sadly, With there being two of them, that's approximately 50% far too less to have stopped the onslaught that was you. The fact that they're wearing gang colors doesn't help your conscience. It does help your beast. It helps justify it to you.
They are monsters just like us. They deserve what we gave them and more. Go ahead, finish them off. Drain them completely dry.
If you would like to not give your beast complete release, go ahead, roll your composure and your resolve. If you are willing to allow it to subsume more of you and dive right in, don't. You struggle it back from, and yourself back from the precipice, backing away. The knife removed, the blood expended to heal the superficial remnants, and you realize that you don't have to. You don't have to summon the strength of your blood because somehow in all of this fracas, your beast would not allow the damage to be resounding. It's already healed. The flesh is already sealed. Luckily for you, this park is not one of the few in the city that has the nighttime cameras to keep a watch. During the day, you sure is a lovely place. At night, it is most definitely not. You back away and begin heading back to the haven. There is more than a small smear of very precious blood coating your lips. Looks as if you, for once, are wearing a very bright shade of lipstick. Lucia, it is no small effort to have made it as far as you have. You find yourself in Rogers Park West, which is a very well-known enclave of the Hasidic Jewish community. It just so happens that one of your contacts, your connections for recouping and gaining more blood bags actually operates out of the area. No one expects a member of the Hasidic community to deal in blood because it is, after all, unclean. Luckily for you, the youth, the gentleman, the college kid that you're dealing with is not as Hasidic as his family would have liked him to be. And so money, after all, that helps him pay off his college tuition and helps him to provide for his family does come in handy. So he always operates with the understanding that God will understand. Unfortunately for you, and unfortunately for him, while God may understand, your beast does not. You cost him a finger. He will not do business with you again. He is too fearful to spread the word that you are a danger, because that's a given. After all, who else would be buying blood except for a criminal? So while he will keep the secret as to what happened and who happened to it, he will not deal with you anymore. You will have to make another connection to supply yourself. You drink greedily, and it's only as you've downed your fourth pack, your fourth blood pack that was earmarked for some hospital somewhere that is not here, you realize that you still have his finger in your pocket as you begin heading back to the haven. Simone, you are one success away from being able to restrain yourself. Your beast is not a kind individual. It doesn't play those games. It doesn't talk to you like that unless, of course, it's toying with you. And it wouldn't toy with you in a manner such as this. You know what it did. You know what trap it set for you mentally. It's one that you've run several hundred times. Chase someone into what appears to be an easy way out, only for them to realize that the only way out is past you and nothing gets past you. And your beast has done the same thing with your internal dialogue. It's allowed you to make your stand in a dead-end canyon with only one way in and one way out. Only, unlike you, it doesn't provide the quick, simple, clean death of a sniper round from, 500 yards. It just blocks the road and leaves you while it makes off with your body, while it makes off with your strength. And you fight it for control and manage to wrest some semblance of understanding of your surroundings and what has actually taken place. You are in an apartment building just south of Rogers Park. You're 2 streets over from the Loyola stop. You can hear the train in the distance. As you look around what's left of your hunt, you realize that this was a college party. This was a very enthusiastic amateur orgy that had taken place or had begun to take place, as everyone's lingering in a semi-state of near exsanguination. You realize that you have drained 4.5 people, the half being the midget who was the surprise into this particular orgy, and they are in a state of absolute duress. The shallow breathing, the blank, barely there gaze of someone who is slipping into a darkness that they will never find the light out of. What is it that you are trying to do as you realize what's taking place?
How much blood roughly did that take from all 4?
You have kept from killing them outright, though that might be a kindness at this point. But they will definitely pass from this world into the next within the next hour and a half, 2 hours.
Alright, that's gonna suck. I'm going to ghoul all 4 of them. That should give them enough blood and enough strength to not die and be abused next time I see.
Well,
And I'm going to seal each one of them just to make sure the point hits home. I'm going to seal the point of it, but once I ghoul them, I'm going to give each one of them a lingering kiss.
well now. All right, give me one quick second here. I don't. All right, so to ghoul them means they have not completely died. You will need a drink for each. So give me 2 rouse checks for providing the blood. And then for lingering kiss.
Give me 1 second. I am going to log off and log back on.
Okay. When you come back, roll manipulation and presence.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's been a hell of a start to the night. And for throwing up, you've been here before. Unfortunately, your beast will not so easily allow you to divest it of the blood, Estia. It's not gonna let that happen. It is that we've done a bad thing, and it was a good moment that you are having with your beast, with your darkness. And Simone, go ahead and give me that roll when you get a chance.
Okay, you said manipulation presence. Do I add anything for seduction, which is persuasion? And that's my specialty.
No, you don't need to. It's not an actual seduction. Lingering kiss doesn't quite work that way. They may think that that's what you've done to them and you've addicted them to you, but that's not what is actually taking place. You are addicting them to you. You are taking away their emotional agency, but it's not a seduction. It is a battering ram to the conscience.
Okay. Should I, out of character, should I re-roll that to get a total success? Because I only need 1 more success.
You don't have to. They don't have a resistance to it just yet, because you would have used lingering kiss as you fed on them, and now if you're going to try to feed back that blood, you definitely will usher in their death, ghoul or not. So you're not actually feeding on them. Lingering kiss is going to addict them to the fact that in their savagement, in that moment where your beast was ravaging them, you had no compunctions on holding back just how pleasurable your particular kiss is. And ghouling them keeps them from dying, but it will definitely make them hunger for this moment again. Not necessarily from you, but they will go looking for it. They will go up and down the various ghoul and blood doll bars for this fix, for this moment. They gotta get it again. Not to make light of the matter, but they definitely are, at least for the next month or so, cracked out for the opportunity to be fed upon.
Yeah, but they can't get anything better than Simone. Seriously.
It is just now 7 o'clock. There has been horrors visited upon the world around you and horrors visited upon yourselves. You all have roughly an hour and a half, 2 hours to get down to Hyde Park and deal with Critias. Unless you all can find a valid reason to not have to go and visit Critias, to not go and take part of the class this evening. Find some larger pressing matter that would give you a pass, a reprieve.
Okay, what do y'all think? Finding that which is kidnapping the younger kindred of the Cato could work, but we have to definitely turn something in. We can't say that we were hunting leads and we just didn't make it. We have to find it.
Clyde, you, of course, were finished a little bit before everyone else because you managed to feed in the shelter downstairs in the actual, just next to actually part of the haven. So as everyone makes it back and Hesher disappears to take care of herself and Lucio disappears to put on fresh clothes and Simone disappears to dress for the evening, you have an opportunity to take in the surroundings and take in the calm and quiet, as well as with premonition having been activated, you know that this is a place where you could be swept away into nothingness. Simone's back mentioning the plans for the evening. Hesher comes back, a mask of composure in place, and Lucio. How do you feel, Lucio?
Sick. Right after I found that finger, I immediately just find a place to bury it so no one finds it. I want nothing to do with that. And I'm not going to mention what the hell just happened to anyone.
That is definitely sounds like a good idea. Just for mental sobriety alone, there's a lot of horrors that have happened tonight because of hunger. What's the plan, folks?
Quick question. 2 questions actually. How much hunger did I get back from that?
You are hunger 1.
That's a lot of blood bags.
It is. There's a way you could get rid of all of your hunger. Just a little step over the line.
The other question that I had was, is there a reason we should piss Critias off and not go? Because right now I feel that while we do have a lot on our plate, it's not going to kill us as quickly as Critias will.
Who's this person?
Probably one of, if not the oldest vampires in the city. And who's in charge of instructing us on how to live in this city. And if we can't learn from him, he'll kill us. Like he did with about half our class so far.
Oh, great.
Clyde, that makes no sense to you because your primogen, Newberry, has taken very considerate and thoughtful steps to ensure that all the Malkavians of the city, at least once a month, meet with him and are helped with therapy so that they quite naturally and quite thoroughly are able to exist within kindred society, being upstanding members. They There's no Malkavian in the city who does not understand what is required to be part of the Camarilla and part of the Chicago Camarilla. So you all take steps to be better versions of yourself, and it's due to Jason's very careful and attentive help. Needing a school to teach you how to do it doesn't quite make sense because, after all, the only thing you learned in school was how to memorize things.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that it's probably some sort of indoctrination or something, but since I don't know the guys very long, and maybe I just watch and learn, see what happens.
Are you contemplating on going with them?
Well, I probably need to rush to get the blood for Hestia. So I don't know if I have time, because right in the back of my mind is that somebody's trying to affect my friends, and that's probably the only thing that's keeping me sane, having them around. So.
Oh, definitely. They are your as close a tie to living as possible, since whatever happened to you, and you are who you are in the current day. However, there is a very real fact that you're not sure how long the blood would be viable. Fresh blood is always best. You've tried cold blood before. The only thing you had to show for it was having to scrub the floor in your apartment several times over to remove it, because while it went down and tasted a little fine, a little okay, passable, it did not stay. Cold blood does not work. So you're sure, or at least there's the idea that cold blood wouldn't work for Hestia either. Meaning, if she's busy with class, then who knows how long you'll have to wait.
I can ask her if she needs fresh blood, or can I bag some and bring it to her?
Simone, what's your vote in regards to making it to Critias's?
As much as I would prefer not to go, unless we actually have a rock solid, we need to do this, we gotta go. Even though there's a pretty good chance that when we go, I'll be apprehended and executed, but I mean, we still have to find who's murdering the caitiff and also the neonates and young men. We have to find that answer. It won't be a criticism because someone doing it. However, unless we really have a good solid lead, we need to go to class.
On that subject, I know I wasn't here for the second half of last week's session, but I was under the impression that it was that monster in the Underdark that was killing all the people. Did we establish that wasn't the case?
We haven't established the issue, but the problem with that would be how would those neonates and caitiff get from there to down there for that monster to eat them, or how would that monster get from there to up there and not be seen?
That's a very good question. So unless it somehow knew, obfuscate like I do. But
true. But wouldn't it have used it when we were setting it on fire?
That's a good point.
That's why I'm thinking that it's someone else who can move around easily enough and not be seen, or someone who's fast enough to get them and bring them down there to that monster. But becomes the next question is why?
Oh, this is stuff that we'll have to answer later because we have to get to Critias class.
Exactly. That was kind of where I was actually.
All right, so the general consensus is that you guys are all going to the class. As she packs up her backpack and her several already sharpened pencils and pens and has colored tabs, and she is a walking locker, basically, perfectly prepared for almost anything that could be thrown at her, and probably certain things that haven't been thought to be thrown at her. It doesn't take you all long to get to Hyde Park. Clyde, are you going with the coterie to spend time with them so that they can go with you afterwards to have as fresh as blood as possible? Or are you going to otherwise busy yourself?
No, definitely. I'm gonna go to the apartment and then try to obtain a sample and try to came back. But first, I make sure that I have a way to communicate with them, either cell phone or something like that.
Okay. Who all brings their cell phone to class?
I'll bring my fossil.
Is it on?
That's a good question. Am I even capable of turning it on? Is such a feat possible for a
Yes.
what was the name of my clan? La Sombra. Why couldn't I remember that?
Yes, it's actually on. It instead of its normal vibrational startup, it starts right on with a soft bell-like chime. You haven't heard from it for years, and you see the Nextel sign glide across the greenish-hued screen, and you're operational.
It's a miracle. I have just. Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say. I have just witnessed a miracle. My phone works. It is actually cooperating with me.
Yeah, we changed numbers and then I rushed to the apartment.
All right. So we normally do, if you guys haven't caught on, we normally do alphabetical, but we're going to start in reverse alphabetical. Simone, you sit down in your usual seat, a hair's breadth away from Portia. It looks as if she's had a very rough night, which is impossible, unless, of course, that's how she was embraced or something else happened. She looks gorgeous as always, but she looks now the gorgeous that has been partying for far, far too long in a very short span of time. She definitely looks heroin chic. Her cheekbones are still on point, but there's a well used aspect to her that you've never seen on her person. And the second shocking matter of the night, while as per usual there are several books stacked on his desk, including a leather bound journal, Critias is not standing at the head of the class.
Now look over the porch. A rough morning?
You can say that. Some weird things happened when you guys left. I guess I should have left with you all.
I can tell you. Where's old man Time? Is he late or not showing up today?
Oh no, he'll be here. He never misses a session. He may come late to prove a point, but he never misses a session.
She rests her hand on Hesha's shoulder because Hesha's sitting in the first row, right ahead of you guys.
I really should have listened to you.
I'm sorry I didn't. It was fun, but I really should have listened to you.
Okay. Next time. Hey, Hesha, looks like the teacher may be late. So how long should we wait? 15 minutes? 20 minutes?
I think for Critias, that rule won't apply.
They should, though. It really should.
I'm coming to learn that what should be is never what is when it comes to our kind.
Not at all. Your class of 13, technically 14 because he did kill that first guy before he actually made it into class, is down to 5. There's an extreme trimming of the class that's taking place. This is your 6th class of the 10 classes that you all were assigned, and there's only 5 of you all.
Do you think he only intends for one of us to survive?
No, definitely not. I think he's planning on killing all of us, one after the other.
That still doesn't make sense. There should be 6 of you. Only one person died last class.
Are the 6, or are they just the other random people in class that we see or have seen?
Yep, there's only 5 of you in the class right now. There should be 6.
That means he's probably late because he's disposing of the person he killed earlier, or disposing of the person killing currently. That's my thought.
How many classes are left?
4.
And there's 5 of us left.
There should be 6.
I see.
She looks at Hestia and she says, "This is my 4th or 5th time. I forget. They've been blending together after a while. His curriculum is always similar, but not exactly the same. And the moment she says similar but not exactly the same, he steps into class and closes the door with a slam. Is a little uncharacteristic. He's violent, he's brusque, he's rude, but he's rarely overly emotional. Even when he's expressing emotion, he's never overcome with his emotions. He looks at the class and he counts heads. We're missing someone. That means we're off to a good start. So, being a member of the Camarilla, being a kindred, comes with the fact that if you are able and willing to pay the price of the monstrousness that lives within your chest, as such, one of you has decided to take flight, or simply doesn't care. If it's to take flight, that is the most logical reaction or response to the stresses of this class. But if it's not caring that has kept your classmate away, there we have a problem. Does anyone know what became of our wayward student? And at that moment, directly across town, Clyde, making your way back to Liz's apartment, there's a coldness that settles across your shoulders. You are going to your touchstones, to your human connection with life, and you're going to take blood from them. While, yes, you fed, and yes, you know that it's necessary, there is the very real risk that by bloodletting these people that matter to you, that monster that lives just under your skin, one of those 101 voices that crawl around your mind seeking escape, it could very much take over. It could very much surface. There's a cold, blood-tinged sweat sticking to your back right now at the mere idea of someone else mentally affecting them, yet you're going to physically affect them.
Yeah, I've been wrestling with myself, but I'm very sure that
Sam the shoemaker pipes up, and you still didn't get new shoes.
yeah, I'm thinking it's for it's something that I have to do for try to help them, because I don't know who's trying to use them. The paranoid part of my brain is thinking that it's for their own good, but it's gonna take a toll on me for sure. So I've been wrestling with these emotions. I try to focus on how is it that I'm gonna transport the blood, maybe in some.
You can always hold it in your cheek, says some voice from deep down inside you. And we're going to take a small break right here. It's going to be 9:40. It's 47 after the hour. So let's do a 4.5, 5-minute break. Hestia's already stepped away, so I'm just going to leave a text and open play for her, and I'll see you guys back here in 5.5, 6 minutes. Okay.
All right.
All right, see you then.
Desmond has a stand in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in the band.
I'm here.
That is good news indeed. Lucio, being as you haven't sat directly with Hester or Simone for the last few weeks, having sat not far away, but not directly next to them because of where the seating was available, and the fact that people are creatures of habit, you are a little closer to Critias than you would like. Being as close as you are, you do see that in his beard there is a small fleck of vitae, blood, that's dangling there just at the corner of his mouth. That combined with the self-satisfied glint in his eye has something crawl around your brain that adds 1 and 1 to get 11. He didn't feed on your classmate, but also he's laying a verbal trap. There's something there about him asking if anyone is aware, something that would definitely harken back to the traditions that he's gone over repeatedly.
For right now, Lucio's gonna hold his tongue because he isn't 100% certain about what to make of this. Because you said I would know that I know he didn't feed on him, on the missing guy.
Almost definitively, vampire vitae, when it sticks to, when you feed on a vampire, especially from the vein, you know from most recent experience that there's a certain viscosity that it has over human blood, over kind blood, over animal blood. There's a thickness that it naturally has that is not present in that very small scarlet patch.
Okay. Lucy's not going to say anything, but the only thing he's going to do is he's going to actually like rub his own face right where the blood is on Critias, because I'm curious if that same like psychological reaction applies to 1,000-year-old vampires as it does to other humans.
So as he's beginning his pace, as he's waiting for a response, he glimpses you and takes his thumb and forefinger and rubs at his whiskers, smoothing his beard out, and in the process wiping that spot away. Clyde, you make it to Liz's apartment. This is where everyone stages, because after all, this is the studio as well. It's always during your living time, during the period of your life where you actually were alive, the idea of her apartment being the studio never really bothered you one way or the other. However, with it being a studio, she tends to open her door without thinking. She tends to leave her door unlocked. And while it's a pretty safe area as far as things go, nothing bad ever happens in Hyde Park after all. It still is a little more troubling now, knowing that they may have fallen prey to one of your kind. That thought and the mixture that it has with the idea of you taking blood from them.
I'm gonna enter because I'm preoccupied on just how I'm gonna separate them enough time to take some blood from them. So I'm probably not paying, uncharacteristically, I'm probably not paying that much attention to my surroundings. I'm consumed with the application of vampire disciplines on them, which I did yesterday, and now this. It's probably something that it feels very base, particularly on them. So
All right, so we're gonna need two rolls from you. First, we're gonna go ahead and combine the rolls of you separating them out so that you can deal with them individually. We're gonna simplify that down to your charisma and subterfuge. And your second roll will be your composure and subterfuge as you manage to use one of the many plastic to-go cups she keeps in her apartment to store the blood you're going to take from them.
Okay. I don't. Do I roll hunger dice for this?
Yes. Nice. You arrive and begin to, chit chat, small talk with them. As per usual, when you arrive, Liz gives you a big bear hug and starts talking about the newest episode, which is the same episode she was talking about yesterday, about the haunting of the tomb in Graceland. Graceland. It's always coming back to Graceland. Graceland. And the notes haven't changed except for the fact that somehow, and even in her mental fugue state, the notes for preparing have been jotted down. It's her handwriting. She definitely did it. The schedule and mapping out of the shots needed were denoted as per usual. But it shouldn't have been there because you wiped out the need for them to go. You blocked their willingness to go into Graceland.
So can I make an insight roll to try to see if they are being compliant or against their will? It will be insight plus what? I got specialty on lies. Does that count? All right. So I'm not a particularly violent person, but after securing the blood, my thoughts will be on trying to get myself some sort of firearm, because whatever is trying to target them, I'm gonna try to stop it at whatever costs. Yep. In that case, my mind is between trying to stay here to protect them, but at the same time, I need to know what we are up against. So with much trepidation, I let them alone again, and then try to rush back to wherever the rest of the coterie is. I'm gonna send a message to Lucio and ask where can we meet.
Well, that was a short class.
I pretty much was. I agree.
I will check the message that was sent to me. I'll just send back a message at the shelter, ? Once I send the message, I will turn to the rest of the coterie members here. Lucio hasn't gotten up yet, but he speaks out to Hestia. Are you feeling okay? You seem disturbed.
Oh, that was interesting. Simone gets up and starts walking towards the door following.
Lucio is now sitting awkwardly alone. Well, I guess the other person's still there. The random person. With a groan, Lucio gets up and leaves. On the way out, if I can catch up to Simone, I want to try and discuss that assignment that Critias has given us.
It wouldn't be too long for you to catch up to him.
Okay. When I finally catch up to him, I ask him, so, this assignment seems fairly innocent. How is he going to use it to get us all killed?
Well, easy. He's gonna cross-reference everybody, and if you get someone who is a savage, great. If not, you invent somebody for a cross-reference. Good enough.
I'm sorry, did you say something, storyteller? Oh, okay. I only caught, like, the last bit of that, so I don't know if that was heard by anyone else. Yes. Shelter.
So slow down so that Lucio catches up, keeping Hesher in at least my furthest view, like keeping her in view. So I'm gonna try to keep modulating my speed to get Lucio to beat up when I need to, just to keep an eye on that. Hesher,
As soon as he starts pulling me, I kind of snap back to reality and try and pay attention to what's going on. I think it's pretty clear that to me that something is wrong with Hestia, and that Simone wants my help in finding that out.
This time, me and Lucio try to close the distance. Putting my hand on her shoulder. You alright?
We didn't hear what they said, did we? I'm sorry, what was that? I can't hear what you're saying right now. I still can't hear anything.
Sorry, your mic might be muted.
Who's Mike?
The storyteller. I guess
Okay.
the mic might be muted.
I hear you now. We'll say yes. I'm getting a distinct JoJo part vibe here, but anyway, are we saying that we basically just forgot the last minute? Well, shit. I'm gonna walk up to Hestia and just like wave my hand in front of her face, see if she's all there.
Is she like looking glossy eyed or is it just kind of blank? Is that anger coming from Portia? Okay, so it's just radiating from Hestia.
Hestia, calm down and enlighten us. What just happened?
Lower it down. Lower it down. What happened?
And that would be you blanking out or forgetting what just happened the last minute or so? Because if so, that happened to me as well.
And that's really bad because it happened to me as well. Okay, let's get out of here and go somewhere quickly. Yeah, let's get out of here before something bad happens.
Agreed.
The thing is, unless it's a new power that's never been heard of, her level of precision to do it to the three of us, not once but twice, is something that's not possible.
Oh my god, has she been using this power on Critias to make him forget that she was part of the class? Is that how she's gotten away with this? Are we driving back to the Haven, or are we, like, walking back? Then yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying that out loud. Were you saying something before you asked her to roll? Because I thought I heard, like, the end of something. I have a dot in occult. So, yes. So you mentioned changeling. So wait, okay. Let me see if I understand this correctly. Is Portia not a kindred? Or is she... Wait, well, I'm sorry, what was that? Okay. So then there are changelings that she's working with?
I'm probably muttering to myself. I'm pacing around. Um, I wait for them to make it to the haven, but I'm visibly shaken. When they get near somewhere more or less private, I tell Hestia, this is the blood that you asked for. I don't know exactly what or who's been trying to control my family, but I know somebody is, and is probably, I don't know. When I found out, I think somebody's gonna pay for it.
Right? All three of them, and then look directly at Clyde. So, what are you asking?
What was the last part, sorry?
What are you asking?
I don't know, but somebody's messing with their heads. They are in a loop or something like that. It's like a bad sequel of Groundhog Day.
We can work with that.
I need to get a gun, man. Somebody's gonna pay for this.
In character, I do not believe I would. All of it. I'm just like speaking out loud about it right now. Trying to like think like this all seems distinctly related, and I wouldn't be surprised if Portia was a big part of all of our problems right now.
So, out of character, is Simon carrying a weapon?
That would depend on if you could see the weapons that he is carrying.
Well, I don't know if I can see them, but I can try.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Hey,
8 successes? No, no way. And I'm gonna ask him. Basically, listen. I don't know if I'm gonna need some holy water or some rageous fire, but I want to be prepared for whatever it is that's hurting my friends. So, you know where I can get a weapon?
Sure, what kind? Knife, gun, grenade launcher, assault rifle, grenade.
Well, I think a pistol is about what I can manage.
I think I still have my old pistol, right? You could have that one.
Yeah, well, it's not.
I'm sorry, what
It's
was
not.
that? Right, so I could give him the old one, and I'd still have the 357, right? Alright. Now, the other question. Clyde, how soon do you need this weapon?
I don't know, man. I need to find out who's doing this. Then whatever I need to do to stop them.
Alright, well, I can get it to you as soon as I remember where I put it.
Oh well, thank you, man. I owe you one.
No problem. It's what a coterie member does.
Bro, start heading towards wherever the heck Castile went.
Hey, Clyde? Just so you're aware, don't be surprised if, like, shadowy demon snakes start popping out of the woodworks.
What?
Oh, nothing at all.
All right then. I try not to be surprised for that demon snake. Now I am looking into all the corners to see snakes.
I find a nice area away from where that doorway was supposedly at, so that I could just kind of be there, but out of the way.
Is saying something?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Because I couldn't
thought
hear
we were.
anything.
I thought we were waiting for Hestia to do the ritual.
Okay, I just didn't see like any typing going on. That's why I asked.
There it is. Who is the them that you're referring to?
So blood magic is definitely beyond Lucio's field of expertise. So, and he's only a novice in occult learnings. I do have 1 dot, so I don't know what I'd be able to contribute.
I have some occult knowledge, and I can try to do some premonition also. If it helps. Oh, so I probably give you 3 plastic cups, and I tell you, well, this is from Liz, this is from her husband, and this is from the cameraman. Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's the roll? Looks a little red. Looks like one has either bed on it. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm having troubles hearing you, but some, yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Ah, yeah, I would tell her that it looks like someone been fed or feeding. Is what makes it there. I asked her, does that help any?
Sure. Check. Right.
I'll be trying to calm Clyde down. Like, so I'm like, keep it together. You need this for the ritual. You can find a drink later.
Well, why don't we do it this way? Tell me where your family lives. I'll stake the place out. I'll find the person who does it, bring them to you, and let you decide there.
All right. Thanks, everyone. This has been a fun session. I'll see you guys next week. Good night.
See everyone next week. Good night.